And we are back with the Anna angle. You guys, we have such a special guest today. Ericka happens to be in town. Ericka is one of my very good friends from high school, and our paths keep crossing in like the funniest, most awesome ways.
Yes, I was just telling someone we lived in Denver together.
Yes, for like 1 year.
Yes.
Yep. And then you guys moved down to Houston.
Yeah.
So I knew her as Ericka Engen. Her name is now Ericka Graham because of getting married and all the great things.
Yes.
Which we can definitely get into.
But we're originally from
McFarland Spartan Award right here, Spartan Award winner, which is like the biggest.
You know what? I was reflecting. I don't know if I won the Spartan Award. I know you did.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't. Okay, I don't think I did. I don't think I did win the Spartan Award.
Someone is gonna need to follow this podcast and tell us who won the Spartan Award.
It might have been like Derek O'Donnell.
I know Trent Benishek won in my year.
Okay, I don't know what my year was. I don't think it was me.
Because when did you graduate high school?
2006.
We were never in. No, we were in high school 1 year.
You were
a senior when you were a freshman.
I actually remember you from track.
Yes.
I remember you being on the bus being like, oh, Anna Hockett's so cool.
You hear that, everybody? Yep. Anna Hockett's so cool.
Yes.
And here we are now having a podcast conversation together and getting to catch up.
I just happened to we didn't plan this when we came here, and I happened to have a McFarland football jersey pack because I wear this as like a swimsuit cover up. So the fact that I saw Anna Hockett, I'm like, this is why I packed that McFarland jersey. I didn't wear it the whole trip, and I'm like, this is why.
I am so jealous that you have that, and I want one so bad. I did. I'm a spin instructor at Joyride. Shout out to Joyride here in Madison, Wisconsin, and I did a what was it called? High school weight room playlist for a theme ride. Oh. Yeah. You probably would have gotten a handful of them because some of these gals had never heard half the songs.
Speaking of high school playlists, Anna, we went to a T-Pain concert together.
Oh my God.
Remember that?
Yeah, barely.
Actually, T-Pain, I feel like he got a bad rap for a while, because people were talking about auto-tune and it was kind of new then.
Okay.
But if you watch T-Pain's Tiny Desk concert, that man is so talented and his voice is stunning.
Oh my God. I gotta put, when I do the mixing of this, I'll put some T-Pain on the intro.
Or put it in the show notes.
I'll put it in the show notes, all the copy, all the things. Oh my God. I love it. I forgot that we went to that concert until just now in Milwaukee.
Yes. And do you know I was a spinning instructor in college?
I did not know that.
At the Surf in the Natatorium. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
And Garrett, my now husband, used to walk. We had our spin classes in the racquetball courts.
Okay.
Back then.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably an actual spin studio.
There is on State Street. It's called Turnstile.
They used to be in the racquetball courts, and there was a track above. So Garrett Graham would go to my classes and watch me from above. And I'd be nervous because he'd be watching me, and I'd be like, all right.
Were you dating at the time? Or
yes, and I'd I'd look up and I'd be like, it was funny. So,
but you were dating at the time. This wasn't him scoping you out.
No, yes, we were dating. It was he was trolling me from up above.
I'm here for it.
Yes,
because back then there wasn't a whole lot of social media to be trolling, so you had to be in person trolling at the Nat, at the Surf or whatever.
Troll me during my spin class.
Good for him.
You know what I loved about being a spin teacher?
Tell me.
Making a playlist.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
So tell me some of the songs.
Oh, you got to follow me on Spotify.
Okay.
Because I have every single week is a different, every
What's
single
your
class.
go-to?
Oh, I love Ellie Goulding for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why. It grabs at my heartstrings and
is that anything can happen?
Yes.
Yes.
And then there's all these remixes now too.
Okay.
And all these youngins, because I'm the oldest instructor, but all the young, there's all these remixes of all these songs. So I like throwing, this is what I do. I probably shouldn't spoil it, but people seem to like it. So I usually throw one OG, old song on the playlist. Last week was 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
So clearly I had to put some Top Gun. I put Danger Zone on it and that crushed. Yeah. And then I like to do one EDM song that I'm easing my way into that genre of music because I feel like such a poser because I feel like all these people go and rage at these shows and I don't.
Yes.
But it's great music to work out to.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And then a pop song an Ellie Goulding.
Madison has JT Roach went to University of Wisconsin.
Okay.
He won Songland, which is like a international music show, and he like remixes songs. He
Really?
has a song called Potions. You should put it on. It would be a local Madison guy.
Put it in the show notes. We're putting it
in the T-Pain Potions. This is why I'm here,
I definitely played T-Pain too. Yeah, we're gonna talk about something other than spinning.
Okay, but I have to recommend one song for
Tell
spin
me.
workout. It's I Get Knocked Down.
Yes,
But
tub
I Get Up
thumping.
Again. So what I used to have the class do is just like follow that lead. So I get knocked down, and then
Yes.
settle. But I get up again, and then you climb.
Yes.
Get me down. I get knocked down. And people loved it, and it has such a rhythm to it.
Yes.
And then when they go into the chorus,
Yeah.
like, this is the night.
Isn't it Pissing the Night Away?
Oh, probably. I said
probably
this is. I don't. You should talk to my husband about this. I think I know every song, and I don't know.
No,
a song.
it's probably This Is.
No, it's
I just
definitely pissing, probably. But, anyways, and then when you sit down, it's a climb.
Yes.
It's highly recommend.
You do like an isolation even for the chorus.
Ooh,
like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys come to class. Joyride 9 a.m. on Saturdays. It's only a 30-minute class.
Instructor.
It's
30 minutes?
It's only 30 minutes. It's so great for like a 9 a.m. Like even if you went out the night before, like 9 a.m. workout.
Yeah.
Are you here till Saturday?
No, I leave tomorrow morning.
Oh my God, how great that we made this work.
I know. Crazy. And actually, I was supposed to preach this weekend, and that means I would normally be prepping today.
Okay.
But our lead pastor is in Venezuela doing like earthquake relief.
Oh my God.
And we have a Venezuelan pastor that goes to our church, Ecclesia, who's going to preach. And he like texted me and he was like, hey, our sermon was going to be about like how we can help aid in Venezuela. Do you mind if, Lucho steps in since he's Venezuelan? And I was like, of course, I'm not the expert here. So that got canceled. I texted you. You were like, come on my podcast.
Let's go. Oh,
I had the McFarland jersey.
She's got the jersey on. I'm so mad I don't have any McFarland gear. Anybody that lives in McFarland, you know who gave me a shirt for the high school weight room thing? Erin Kolk or Erin Howry.
Oh,
hadn't seen her since high school.
Phenomenal softball pitcher.
Great softball pitcher. Great person too. She married Joe, a high school sweetheart, the whole deal.
Yeah. I love
Sweetheart. And she goes, I think I posted something on Instagram and I was like, does anyone have any vintage McFarland stuff? She goes, oh yeah, I got something. And she's like, this is the last shirt I own. And I'm like, are you sure you want me to have it? Cause I'm going to cut it up and she's like, no, this is like paying it forward. I want you to have it.
Yes.
Lives over in town, like outside of McFarland.
Oh, I love it.
But like I moved away after college.
I love the Howery family.
Great family.
Yes.
So it's just
Craig
crazy.
would do the volleyball referee.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I think he was our basketball coach too.
Yeah, he was great.
It's so many blasts from the past after being back here because I've been back for 3 years and it's like, part of it's so nostalgic because again, I didn't live here for 20 years.
Yeah,
because you've been gone now for how long?
Yes, I mean, Garrett and I moved to Texas in 2010, and then we lived in Denver for 1 year.
Okay,
so I mean, 2010, it's a long time ago.
And didn't your parents move to Texas?
16 years ago.
16 years ago.
Yeah.
What
Crazy.
the hell?
I know. Is that the math, right? Yeah.
I have no idea.
2010. Yes.
I'm glad it was a 10 instead of, because that's easier to count.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So thank you so much for joining us. As everyone knows, this is a Brava sponsored podcast. I am your host, Anna Hockett. This is Ericka Graham. We are just going to continue talking really quick. We're going to come back to this at the end, but I like to do a little bit of a toast and I like to celebrate just about anything.
Yes.
So what would you like to toast to today? So we're just so everyone knows, Ericka's drinking a Sprecher, 35 calorie, no sugar, low sugar.
I love it.
It's so, I told you, that's like
this is going to be your new drink.
The best. What do you like? Non-alcoholic beverage?
Yeah, like I love Olipop. This is like so creamy.
And isn't Sprecher? It's in Wisconsin. We think.
Okay, we think
it's at listen. It's downstairs at the festival. It's also at your local grocery store. It's on Amazon too. I'm drinking wine. As you guys know, this is a very good. This is actually a friend of mine sent me this for my birthday.
Oh, I love it.
I know.
And you're open to being sponsored by them.
I'm open to being sponsored by Wine Access. This is a gorgeous French wine. Cheers. Cheers. What are we toasting to? We can do a little toast and then we'll come back to it at that.
Okay, long-time friends.
I mean,
keeping in
long-time
touch for a long
friends.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
No matter how big the distance.
Yes.
Love it.
Cheers.
All right. So because you started talking about preaching on Sunday or Saturday, I've been dying to ask you about this my entire, like, since you've been doing this.
Yeah.
How did you, I don't remember you being like super, super into church growing up.
No, yeah, I wasn't. I was as when I was really young, I was
Okay.
like really religious, but it actually tied into some of my OCD, like scrupulosity, it's called. It's like a subset of OCD where you like compulsively make promises to God. So when I was like really young, I was
Stresses me out
religious.
just thinking
I
about
know,
it.
I know. But I didn't understand that until way later, what that was at the time.
Okay.
And I was young. I was third grade
Okay.
when that started. But yeah, I actually did a Master's of Liberal Studies program at Rice University,
Okay.
which is kind of a general master's. And I ended up doing my capstone research under a Hebrew Bible scholar who studied the Hebrew Bible. And I did that on sexuality in the Bible. And I became interested in biblical studies, like really later. I mean, I was probably 24.
I was just gonna say, because this is after college. What was
Yeah.
your undergrad in?
Communications and rhetoric. Communications and rhetoric.
I have 2 rhetoric books. Those are the only books I kept from college.
Oh, were you rhetoric also?
I was not. I was gonna be, because I thought about going to law school at one point.
You do. It says rhetoric for a multicultural America.
Used. Like, you can tell it's used.
Is this a college textbook?
That's a college textbook. I probably was supposed to return it. Probably should have. Probably could have made money on it. If this book wants to sponsor, no. I just got really into rhetoric because it's all about like how we talk and how like it's accepted, and so I was news. I was broadcast journalism.
Okay.
Which goes right hand in hand.
The
with
University
rhetoric.
of Wisconsin, I don't know if it's still the same. They had a radio TV track and then a rhetoric track.
Okay.
And I always just I loved my professors here. I had this one professor, Dr. Asen, he might still be here, who I just adored. And it was really kind of like philosophical too. Rhetoric, it's like, how do we use language? How do we think? How does language impact culture? What is democracy? How do we all participate in public forums? Like, it was like really deep questions, and I loved that.
Yeah, that's why I really like. I mean, that's probably why I kept this stupid book. This is so funny. Let me see what year this is from. Like this, but I think it would probably still be like current. Like, does it go out of style, or does it go 2000?
2000. Well, I'm sure there's been like more studies.
I'm sure there's tons more
communication
studies.
theories, and there's also like the ancient, pillars and philosophers.
For sure. Yeah, I went to it was talk about a great. So my professor, his name was David Gore at University of Minnesota Duluth, my junior and senior year. He thought he was wonderful. He believed in me so much, and I don't like school. It came easy to me, but like some things did, I don't know. He just like really got me into like, once I got into my like major stuff, I really liked it. I hated the like math and science courses.
Yeah.
But he was like the one that was not convincing me, but really wanted me to consider being a lawyer, because I was so obsessed with like the power of speech and like the, all the things behind it.
Lawyer. That makes sense to me.
It'd be like Legally Blonde. I'd be like, it would be so funny.
That's okay.
But you know what he told me to do?
Need more Elle Woods in the world.
Well, that's not a bad point. But he told me to do, he's like, you know what you need to do is go, first of all, read this book called 1L, which is like the whole deal about the first year of law school. And then he goes, the other thing you need to do is go talk to someone who's in their first year of law school.
Yeah.
And maybe I talked to the wrong person, because I took him up on that.
Yeah.
And it was just the amount of reading and writing in school just wasn't for me. I think it's starting to change
now.
now.
I love about this. So I love that like one professor's like not even opinion of you, but what they saw in you helped shape how you see yourself.
I think
that's so true. Like, I think we think that like this is only for kids, right? That like how we see and speak into our young people is what shapes them. But like, even, as a full grown adult, having a mentor that sees something in you can just change your whole life.
That's one of the reasons I started this whole podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't stop being. So once I moved back here, I was still in textiles. You knew that that's what I was doing in Colorado for a long time.
Okay, yes.
And I moved back here, and I had gotten laid off like right into the first year I was living here. And it was like one of those non-performance based reduction in forces that all these tech companies are doing.
Yeah.
And it destroyed me. Not only because I was paying a ton of money in my lawyer bills for my divorce, but like it was just heartbreaking to get fired for no.
A lot. Wait, tell me. So you were going through a divorce, paying a lawyer, and then you got laid off.
Yeah.
And you were in Madison.
I was living in an apartment right over here.
That's
After I moved out, I lived with my parents, my roommates. Shout out to Peter and Jeannie. I lived there for 9 months, my parents' place, because I was going through this huge hip surgery from my hip dysplasia and my labrum.
So you were going through a divorce, got laid off, had major hip surgery,
couldn't
and
walk for 3 months. Yeah.
How did you get through that time?
I don't know.
I'm interviewing you now.
I don't know.
I'm going to interview you.
No, we're doing the interviewing here. I don't know.
Did you?
I truly think it's like, thank God that
a lot. Like one of those would be a lot.
Well,
a layoff is a lot. A divorce is a lot.
Yeah.
A major life altering surgery is a lot.
Yeah.
3 at once.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm so happy now, is because somehow I got through it. So, I mean, I think therapy is really important. I've had a really good therapist in my life. I had an okay one at the time.
Yeah.
And I finally was like, I was like, I'm getting way more out of going to a yoga class than I was my therapy sessions.
Yeah.
And yoga membership was way cheaper than going to therapy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, like, I think that the yoga helped a lot. Like, journaling a lot, like getting through, especially once I was healthy-ish again, to like start moving my body.
Yeah.
But I think that, like,
did you do like the restorative yoga? Like
all the different kinds. Yeah. So Inner Fire over here does all different
I used
kinds.
to love Inner Fire.
I love it. Still do. So there's one over on University on the west side, and then there's one right here, a mile from here.
Oh, amazing.
And it's fab.
Okay.
So
do they still have Mound Street yoga?
I don't know.
It was a really cool one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Inner Fire I love because it's like OG yoga. It's like people from all walks of life. It's not just some of the ones I've gone to downtown are a little bit more young, which is totally cool. But like, I'm like, these girls are smoking hot and they're like 20, like, which is great. And I shouldn't be comparing her, but like, no, Inner Fire is my jam. That's my favorite spot.
I love it.
And they're brand new Brava advertisers, which we're excited about to partner with them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But no, so it was just a lot.
So yoga was therapeutic.
Yoga was huge for me.
There's something about stillness and like even like doing that in a community, right? Because I think like if you meditate alone, there's something about like being with other people.
There is, even if you're silent with other people. And I think that the big thing for me is like putting the phone away and being able to like, I don't even wear, that's the one active activity I don't wear the stupid watch for. Is I like to just be. Yes. And like my favorite thing, and I tell this to the spin class all the time, like if you can't keep the beat in spin class, if you can't do whatever, like my favorite yoga class, this gal came in and I wasn't like looking at her. I was just like, you can't help but like see other people.
Yeah.
And the instructor was, or the yogi was like, this practice, do what you need to do. Like make this practice what you need and just keep coming back to your breath. If you get lost or if you feel your mind trailing. And if you just take out of this practice what you need. And this gal came in, laid in child's pose in the back of the room the entire class for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Good for her. She made it in the door.
Yes.
She took the 90 or the 60 minutes for herself. And if that's what she needed that day, good for her.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do. Yeah. I think that there's such an obsession of like bravery is often defined as doing the thing. Okay. And sometimes it's not doing the thing.
Yeah.
Like we like commend the kid that will go on the roller coaster. But what about the kid that's the only one that said no to the roller coaster? Like that's also brave.
It's super brave.
To not do what everyone else is doing.
100%.
To be like countercultural.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to get back to it, so you decided that you wanted to go to school.
Okay, so I did a master's program. I ended up studying, doing my capstone in sexuality in the Bible under this Hebrew Bible scholar who, speaking of, kind of to loop it back, he was a professor that really believed in me and kind of saw something in me that maybe I didn't see in myself.
Like,
and I also just studying the Bible from a perspective that wasn't in a church or even in a seminary.
Right.
I like
they like sexuality. Like what are we talking about?
They were asking questions like, who was the writer of this and who was the audience and what were the contextual things that might change this meeting and what are the multiple interpretations of this word and like things that I was never taught how to do when it came to
you just
biblical interpretation.
Yeah, you just like went to mass and listened or pretended to listen.
I didn't know the scholarly approach. So I became really fascinated with that. Ended up teaching actually at a Jesuit high school for a little while. Cristo Rey Jesuit, which is an amazing high school in Houston. And it was a Catholic high school, and every day we would have an exam and prayer over the loudspeaker. And it was like a very contemplative Christian school. And I just kind of had this sense that like my spirituality had been missing something,
Yeah.
and I was finding pieces of it, and it was resonating with me. And I'd always kind of been like a seeker, but didn't really know how to pursue that.
Yeah.
And then that kind of sparked an interest in theological studies. And I kind of had in my mind, I'd love to go to seminary someday. And then when Garrett got picked up by the Broncos,
Yeah.
we were like a half a mile from the Iliff School of Theology at Denver University,
Okay.
which happened to be like my dream seminary. One of my favorite preachers, Nadia Boltz-Weber, went to seminary there. And
how did this
so then I enrolled at Iliff, and I did a master's in theological studies at Denver or at the Iliff School of Theology in Denver.
Like, when you look back at like how, like you asked me, like, how'd you get through that, whatever, like, isn't it crazy? I was just on this like other podcast. You know who Charlie Wills is? He used to play.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was on his podcast with Scott Brennan. He was an All-American track athlete at Wisconsin. And we were talking about like, isn't it crazy where like sometimes like things just end up working out?
Yeah.
And maybe it's in a time where you need it to, or maybe it's in a time where you don't, like, and sometimes you don't know why things are working out the way that they are. Just like when you come across people that either believe in you or can have like these massive impacts on your life.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
isn't that nuts that all of a sudden somehow Garrett gets drafted by the Broncos and you're like, oh, this is great because I wanted to go to school in Denver. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts. Yeah, and we had a nonprofit called Project 88 for 7 years.
I remember that.
And we kept that going while we were in Denver. And I was like, do we leave it? Do we hand it off? What do we do? But I ended up just kind of flying back and forth from Houston to Denver. And the Iliff School of Theology had a hybrid program. So I was able to, even when we moved back to Houston, still be a student at Iliff, because we'd have something called gathering days where you just fly to the campus, knock out like a week's worth of classes, and then fly back.
No kids
and
at
do
this
it
point,
online.
right?
Yeah, no kids. And that is, some people are like, how are you able to do all this? I'm like, we didn't have kids yet.
Yeah. You just don't even need to know.
Yeah.
It's like, so tell me about, because you think about Garrett and you, I have to imagine like you're very similar. Obviously he's watching you teach spin class. He's your biggest fan in college.
Yeah.
And you're both athletes. Ericka played basketball for UW-Madison. She was on the women's basketball team. Go Badgers.
Go Badgers.
And Garrett played football. Obviously, if he was playing for the Broncos, he was pretty good. And so, like, talk about that a little bit. Like, clearly, but like, I don't know that he's in wealth management now, or what's he doing?
No, actually, okay, this is really crazy. Speaking of like things that just kind of end up working out.
Okay.
So when Garrett's career ended, it was with the Broncos. He got injured, and that was his last season.
Okay.
And he started to golf.
Okay.
As you know,
as most men
love
do,
to golf.
especially dudes.
And he got really good because, again, we didn't have kids yet. I was kind of doing Project 88. Garrett was helping me with that.
Yeah.
We co-founded that together. But that was Project 88 was really my baby.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, that was where I spent all my time,
Yeah.
really. And Garrett was golfing a lot. Garrett got good at golf, but not like professional golfer good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you could go on the tour and like, play Tiger Woods, but a really good golfer.
But good, yeah. Well, he's a great athlete.
Yes. So they ended up starting this league called the Pro.
Okay.
Maybe a year and a half ago, recently. And it's a professional golf league for ex-athletes.
Shut up.
But not ex-golf professionals.
Okay.
So like MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, professional tennis also.
Really?
Yes. And
because a bunch of these pro tennis players like love, especially ex-pro tennis, like they golf constantly, even the ones that are currently playing.
So if I think there's some qualifications, like you had to have played a professional sport for like 4 years. Your handicap, I think, has to be within a certain range, but it's paid.
It's like, a paid thing.
It's like, I mean, depending on how
watching
you play.
athletes, they love watching pro athletes that they were fans of do other sports.
I think that's the idea that like eventually this could become something. I'm not sure. Garrett knows more about the future of it's called the Pro Tour.
Okay.
The Pro. So he's like,
That's what he's doing now?
I'm like, you can't tell any men what you do for a living right now because it's like the dream. So
It
he's
is literally the
a
dream.
professional golfer without being like an actual professional golfer, but he is a professional golfer because he's getting paid for
Do you
it.
go to his matches and stuff, or does like travel around it?
Haven't. I know. Like everyone's like, how are you not going? But at
Like, I'm
home, I'm kind
busy.
of like in a rhythm with like preschool and I work, part time or preach at our church.
Yeah.
And
Is that a
so I
paid
haven't
position?
gone. And I was also like, if I go, I'm going to be in a hotel room with 2 kids and at the pool, and you're going to be off golfing. So I'm like,
What are we doing?
yeah, I haven't gone yet.
Do you get paid for
But
preaching?
it is, yeah, I do get
You
paid.
do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You can watch online. So I follow every tournament.
Oh my
online.
gosh.
And there's actually like a live streaming where you can watch it on video. I don't live stream it. I just like check in with his score every 10 minutes.
Are there any people on the tour that you like would fangirl over if you did go? I mean, like you've had a lot of exposure with professional athletes since.
I know. It's like embarrassing how little I know about sports, Anna. Like
What?
I like love to play sports. Like I don't know the players' names. I don't know the people I should.
Like getting ready to Google the damn pro tour to be like, Ericka, do you think Garrett can like hook me up with a ticket?
I know Garrett. It was cool. Garrett got to play a couple times with Ray Allen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Tony Romo does really well in the tournaments.
Okay.
Too.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I know those are 2 names, but honestly, I couldn't even like. I'm sure there are a bunch of names that you would like be like, wow.
I'm sure I would.
I'll be like, what sport did they play and what team were they on?
Oh my God, I love it. So, but like, so he's like a professional, like played on this pro tour golf, and you're preaching.
And he's doing it. So the pro is usually 1 week a month.
Okay.
So it's perfect. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're preaching, and you've gotten 2 master's degrees now in some sort of theology study.
Yeah.
What does he think of that? Or like, how do you tell him like about all these interesting things that you're learning? Or
yeah. He's really supportive.
Of course. It seems like from afar, from what I see on
Instagram.
Like
if I'm preaching one weekend, we kind of like sit down, we figure out, when is he going to golf? When am I going to sermon prep?
Yeah.
Who's got what appointments? So, I mean, he's not like going to like nerd out about the different atonement theories and discuss like, Rene Girard philosophy. Like these,
right.
He's not like,
I was going to say, like, what does he do when you say something like that? Is he just like, okay, I'm going to take the kids and I'll be back. Good luck tomorrow.
No, I don't know. Yeah. We don't like, he's not.
Listen, everybody needs different stuff, in my opinion. Not that I'm the biggest expert, but I think it's good to have different. I'm just always curious when couples have very different interests, and not that.
Yeah.
But like, I love it. I think that it sounds like it's been working. I mean, how long have you guys been married now?
Yes. We got married in 2012. So a long time.
14 years.
You can do math faster than me. And 14 years.
Doing the.
Yep.
Someone will probably be like, that's not correct. Yeah. And you're like, 14.
Yeah. Well, we got engaged at 22.
Yeah.
I was 22.
Really, really
so
quick.
right out of college. Yeah.
I think Matt, my brother, has been married for 15.
Okay.
Maybe he got married right before you guys, or maybe right afterwards. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But very similar,
right before, if it's 15.
I don't know if it's 15 or 14, but that's amazing. So, so you're preaching, is that once a week or twice? How often is that?
It varies. Like there are some months where it's 2 or 3 at the max, and that's rare that it's 3 because that would be every weekend besides one. And then other times they'll have a whole month off.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you talked about the professor that really believed in you.
Yeah.
You call them professors in seminary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Matthias Henze.
Okay.
Shout out.
So you talk about that, and one of the reasons like I do this, and like, so what I was going to get into is like, so I moved back here. I had been in tech sales. Very, very different than working for some local publications here in Madison, Milwaukee, and in Chicago. But I had worked for a wedding magazine in Chicago before. So I knew I loved helping like businesses get bigger and grow. Like anytime people are looking for growth. And that's kind of what I logged into that while I was selling software too, because in tech sales, like typically software and tech can really help businesses grow or do smarter, not harder, like that whole thing.
Yeah.
But I happened to meet these 2 gals at this networking event, and they're like, you should come work with us. And I'm like, No. I've been in software for like 14 years. Like
Yeah.
this is what I do. And I knew what my paychecks had typically been like. And they're like, yeah, we get that, but you would have so much fun and you'd love working with us. And I like love these two gals.
Yeah.
And then
That's huge. If you love who you work with.
and I
mean,
guess I always thought that was more like fluffy, like
Yeah.
more like, oh,
Yeah.
culture's important. Is it like, let's just
Yeah.
work hard and make money and whatever.
Uh-huh.
So then one of the gals, Dina, who's going to be a guest soon, she was like, she calls me the next morning because we exchanged like phone numbers and LinkedIn's and whatever. And she's like, hey, our CEO really wants to take you out for coffee. Can you meet today? And I was like, yeah, I don't see why not. So I sat down with them and she's like, listen, I can't promise you the commission checks you're used to in what you've been doing. But she said, what I can promise you is like a place to call home and a place that I think that you'd thrive and like whatever. And then it's so crazy because at the same time, I just auditioned to be a spin instructor at Joyride.
Okay.
And keep in mind, at this point, I'd been through 2 layoffs.
Yeah.
And they called me back from Joyride 2 days before this. And they're like, hey, we think you're not there yet, but we think we can get you there to be a spin instructor. Just give us 6 weeks and like of training. And I'm like, I am so excited. I can't wait.
Did you do the training here in Madison?
I did. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I went to Milwaukee to get like Mad Dog certified. This is way back in the day.
They used to have that now for the,
Is it still Mad Dog?
I don't know.
Okay.
For like Soul Cycle, they fly you to New York. I know that.
Okay. Yeah.
And for Cycle Bar, they make you go through a very similar training to what I've done here for Joyride.
Okay.
And so my whole point to like bringing up Joyride again is like, you know, you go into these jobs or you go into some of these opportunities. And I ended up taking a job with magazines. So Brava Magazine, Persona Madison, Persona Milwaukee, and Chicago Style Weddings. And I really didn't know, other than like knowing it was a little bit less money than I had been making and like stuff like that, a bit less. But I was like, I kind of went into it like heart open, like, let's just see what happens here. And what had been working wasn't working for me anymore. So let's and Ericka, it's like nuts. Like, I feel like, and my friends have even told me the real Anna is back. Like, and you go into it thinking like, okay, I'm going to do this job. I'm going to try to, you know, get as many advertisers as possible and make money and this and that. And now it's like, these jobs are giving so much back to me. The people I've met at Joyride and the people I've met through the magazines and through working for Nye Turner Media Group, that's who owns all of our publications. They inspire me so much more. They're giving me so much more than I think. I mean, I'm helping their businesses grow, but they're giving me so much more on the other end. Yeah. And I'm so inspired.
Well, I love that you're doing this.
And that's where like
an example.
I want people to tell their stories. And like, because after some of these conversations, I went out for coffee with the VP of the Meritor Foundation. Okay. Which is like huge. Like this big hospital.
I was born there. Yeah. Were you too?
No, I was a St. Mary's baby.
Okay.
And my dad, that's a whole nother story. My dad was driving around the block, like almost until the moment I was born because he didn't want to pay for parking. Guys, it's $1 to park at St. Mary's. And I think it's free if you go to valet. Like, I don't think, but he wanted to make sure he got free street picking. So he almost missed me being born.
You're like a discounted baby.
I'm a discount baby. I wish I would have taken some of that frugalness, but I don't do that. But no, so it's just like, I have these conversations with people.
Cool. Madison is so cool.
It's so great. And I have these conversations with people and I'll be like, I'll walk out of a coffee date or like a happy hour or like a lunch. And I'm like, I wish everybody could hear what this person just shared with me or told me or like, and that's where, like, that's why I started this. I just want people to be able to hear. And that's where I think the more I get into even like advertising and the way people operate today in 2026, I think one of the big reasons influencers are so popular is everybody wants to know what normal people are talking about. Yeah. Not just a paid celebrity or a paid endorser, but like I want to, we could talk for 16 hours and not even cover it, Ericka. Like, I'd love to talk about everything, food and health and wellness and hair and makeup and like all the things. Yeah. Cause like, everybody wants to look like you. Like it's like,
speaking of hair and makeup, the reason I have a towel on is because I have like a pretty intense self tanner on right now, and I don't want to get all this furniture orange.
My new set. Can you imagine? You get up out of the new set. I'm like, Ericka, thank you so much for coming. I have to clean all of the. Isn't this soft though? It's like a corduroy. It's like a thick corduroy. But anyways, yeah. So I think when people impact our lives, I want everybody to experience a portion of that impact, even if it's a tiny little 1 hour long podcast, or if it's, sharing certain things about life, like professors. Like I talked on the last podcast about how my tennis coach at Montana State completely changed my life, because she literally, she sat me down and was like, she could tell I was super boy crazy when I got to college, because like I didn't date, I didn't date in high school at all, because I was so focused on sports.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Barely. I had one very great boyfriend, and I was fortunate to have him. But like
in high school, you did?
As my senior year,
senior,
the last 3 months of my senior year, that was it.
Okay.
I wasn't even allowed to go to homecoming or prom till my junior.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like boy crazy college, and she could tell.
And do you think that's why?
Oh, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
But like I have so much passion in my relationships, even friendships, that I can understand my parents being like, you need to focus on the one thing that's going to get you to the next level, which was tennis.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. No one knows.
And now I see like all these girls get so messed up with the wrong guys.
Yeah.
And like sex and doing stuff that like, I'm like, thank God I wasn't involved in a lot of these different behaviors in high school.
We didn't have social media in high school.
And we didn't have social media, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, my college tennis coach was just off the charts, and she sat me down. She's like, hey, here's the deal. Cause she could tell I was like trying to be someone different for these different guys that I was like going after.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, you're never going to be the prettiest. You're never going to be the smartest. You're never going to be the funniest. You're never going to be any of these things, but you got to find out like what lights you up and what makes you special, and like ride that the rest of your life. And like, she's like, don't be fake. Don't try to be quiet because you think these guys want a quiet, like submissive girl. Don't be dumb because you think they want like a ditz. Be you. Yeah. And like, if they don't like you for who you are, they can go fuck themselves. And like, sorry for swearing.
No, I love that. I think that's like our life's work, is like figuring out who we are and then becoming more of that.
Right?
Yeah. And oftentimes it's like, for me, I noticed it's like, I'll return to, like, for example, I loved religion and God in 3rd, 4th grade.
Okay.
Like, and then I start wondering what other people are doing, what other, like, I think a lot of times it's actually becoming who you are is like also a return to who you've always been.
Isn't that crazy?
Before you started listening to who culture,
everything else.
Yeah.
But isn't that nuts? Because that's where it's funny that like this is somehow I'm back in Madison, Wisconsin. I never thought I'd live here again.
Yeah.
Gone for 20 years. I left in 2003 and never really came back.
Yeah.
So I guess, well, no, not 23 years, because I came back in 2023.
Yeah.
But like I find myself, especially with Joyride, and even my job now and my work, is like so much of who I was in high school or who I was growing up is like creeping back in. So
that's beautiful.
It is. Yeah. And then my parents, I get to see them and like spend time with them whenever I want, which like I didn't get to do that when I was married and when I was in my relationship that was not the right relationship to be in college. You know what I mean? It's like, so now we're getting back to like, it's just crazy.
And to evolve. And like, I remember one time I was telling my therapist, I was like, I like think of old things I used to do or say, or I don't know, and I just cringe. And she's like, good, like you should cringe. Like that means you're growing. And that girl was probably doing the best she knew how to do in that moment.
Isn't that crazy?
It's like having some compassion for earlier versions of yourself.
Right.
Like figuring it out.
And who knows where you would be if you didn't figure it out, and maybe it was painful, or maybe like it wasn't the right thing, maybe, and maybe it caused pain to others or whatever it was. So like talk about, you were saying the OCD thing. When did you realize like that was like a part of who you were, and is that something you're constantly still thinking?
Yeah. So actually, for my 30th, Garrett and I went and like traveled the world. We went to Greece, we went to Italy,
this is also before kids.
To Paris. This is before kids.
Okay.
I had turned 30 and we were in Greece, and I was sitting next to this girl, and she said, oh, I'm a OCD therapist in Chicago. And I said, oh, I think I had OCD when I was young. And she was like, oh, well, it doesn't go away. And I was like, well, mine did. I'm special. Like mine went away.
Obviously.
And she's like, oh, well, just like be careful. Like if you have a trigger later in life, like it can come back because like it doesn't usually just go away on its own. And I remember being so annoyed with her. I was like, she doesn't know me.
This is in Greece.
I
You're
was,
on
yes,
like this amazing
yeah. I'm like
trip.
telling Garrett, I'm like, this girl's telling me how my mental health works, and I'm the one living my life. I know it went away. I'm like arguing with her in my head, and usually that's a good sign. Like if something triggers you, there's probably a little truth in it.
Yeah.
That's annoying you, so you're trying to like
or there's something behind it, right?
rationalize it, So I ended up I felt like some days I would just get stuck, and I'm like, you know what? One of my good friends has an OCD therapist and talks about OCD all the time.
Okay.
I'm gonna see who she goes to, and I'll just rule it out. I'm like mildly
just to make
open
sure
it.
that I don't have any issues
I'm
with
like,
this.
I'm just here to like confirm that I don't still have this thing. And turns out that was kind of a journey of really kind of addressing something that I had been unwilling to name in my life, and that was addiction, an addiction that I had to prescription medication for years. And I was able to, through therapy, just kind of be honest about these things that weren't okay in my life.
Yeah.
And underneath that, my OCD had not gone away. It had just, I didn't know a lot about OCD, but it can be mental ruminations. It can be seeking reassurance. It can be all these different, like, I just thought, well, I'm not like tapping 9 times before the clock hits 1 o'clock. I'm not doing like really absurd outward things. I must not have it.
Yeah.
And there's the stereotype that people with OCD are really neat. I am not neat. I am like classically messy. So I'm like, clearly that's not me, but
Do you
OCD.
remember when you came to my apartment in Denver and
my car was probably trashed?
No, you go to me. You walked in the door and I don't believe I have OCD, but I'm like insanely, I'm pretty tidy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you came, you called me and you're like, hey, I'm outside. And I go, well, why don't you come up? And you go, your apartment's like ready to have people over. And I was like, well, yeah. And you walked in and you go, this is what your place looks like all the time. And I go,
this place is a vibe, first of all. Yeah.
But this was in Denver. And I was like, oh, okay. But
anyways, I've actually am neater now,
well,
but I'm not like this, like not like a museum. Like Anna's apartment is an anthropology catalog.
No,
okay.
It's not. But the funniest part is like, it was so funny because then I started listening to your podcast, like right when you started it.
Yeah.
Or some live post on Instagram. And I was like, oh, but like also like you have kids and stuff, but you've never been like a super tidy person, right?
Correct. Yes.
And you're like, so wait, you make your bed every day? And I was like, yeah.
Well, actually, I do make my bed every day now.
Okay,
I did. Well,
so
maybe some days I don't. Yes. I like actually,
and if you
recently,
don't, it's not a big deal.
No,
I'm
it's
just
not
like,
totally.
I just found that so funny because to me, I was like, oh, but it made me feel
recently.
good.
I kind of like reclaimed that part of myself recently because it's like I've pictured it as like an esteemable act that will transfer to other areas of my life.
It does, don't you think?
And it does, like when for sure. Like I think there's like an empowerment that comes with being able to manage your own life.
Yeah,
that kind of bleeds out into other areas
for sure.
But it took some maturity for me to get there. Right. I had to address some other issues. And
no, okay, so back to so you thought you didn't have OCD because you're like, well, OCD people are typically like crazy clean, or they wash their hands 100 times, or they brush their teeth.
There's a lot of misconceptions about what OCD is and how it shows up.
Yeah.
And when I had a trained therapist who specialized in OCD meet with me, I realized that I actually had like very classical, obvious OCD that was still resurfacing in my life. So that was big. She also recommended a 12-step program for me. I was like, oh, they're going to be like, why is this normal girl here? I had an idea of what an addict was, and they say in 12-step programs, as I told you already, denial stands for don't even know I am lying.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true, is that there's so many high functioning
addicts of all different things. Yes.
Yeah. And I've met people that have gotten sober out of program. I'm not saying 12 steps are for everyone, but I did gravitate towards the spiritual component of it.
Okay.
And
there is a heavy spiritual component.
There is, yeah. There's a higher power.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's kind of in program, we have this phrase, act as if. So even if you don't believe in God, if you act as though there is one, you start to kind of see the fruit show up in your life.
Yeah.
So that kind of coinciding with my theological studies, and then kind of having this like more spiritual awareness in program and with my sponsor. I was just like, I don't know why it works, but it does.
So when you got back from Greece, did you start seeing someone like right away, and was the addiction still in your life at that point?
It was, but I had I was taking a medication as prescribed. I wasn't abusing it at that point.
Okay.
I was definitely psychologically dependent on it.
Okay.
You know, like I think it's a hard thing when you're prescribed a medication to just like, even I used to check to make sure it was in my purse, and just like there's a psychological dependence that you have it if you need it.
Yes.
Even if you're not taking it.
Yes.
Knowing that the bottle exists somewhere for your relief. And like I actually kind of we ended up I was taking it as prescribed, not abusing it. And we ended up going on another trip. I can't remember how old I was. We didn't have kids yet. And we had gotten back and my script had run out.
Okay.
And I ended up going on a walk, and I noticed like, and I said this in this other podcast.
Yes.
Like I noticed like this bee pollinating a flower, and there were like big fluffy clouds in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a perfect day, and I could feel the wind on my face, and I had like a rush of calm over me, and I was like so aware of all the beauty around me.
Yeah.
And I realized this, and this is something that Brené Brown actually talks about a lot. Brené Brown lives in Houston.
Okay.
She says that you cannot not selectively numb.
Okay.
So if you use something to numb anxiety or pain or whatever, just the ordinary discomfort of being human, you also numb a lot of the joy, and the calm, and the awareness. And I realized in that moment that like I had been missing out on that, and that was worth it more, you know?
100%.
And so, like I think for a couple years, I kind of had this self mantra of like, I will show up. I'm just going to show up as I am, and I'm going to be who I am, and feel it all.
Yeah.
And know that I can handle feeling it all.
It's so crazy, Ericka, because like from the outside, right? And like I said before, and I said Ericka, and this, hopefully the listeners don't think that I'm being really negative, because the whole premise of this is the positive Anna angle.
Yeah.
Like I think we're all kind of fucked up in some way, right? Like I think
we're all human.
We're all human. Yes. Okay. But from the outside, like someone like me looking at someone like you who one believes in you and thinks you're just the best thing ever, to hear that you needed to numb anything is crazy to me. Like that gives me the chills, because it's like, it breaks my heart for you, and for like for whatever you were going through, or whatever, whether it was the OCD or whether it was the pressures of being a wife and all the, you know, of a professional athlete, or whatever was going on that you needed to numb at that point. And I think that that's so, it's just beautiful that you were able to get out of it. Yeah. Because then you get to experience, you're not numb to some of these things, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there is a pressure. Like, I think I always put a lot, I don't think. If you talk to anyone in my family, I always put a lot of pressure on myself. Yeah. Like, get perfect grades, like go to Madison, like I was really, even as a little kid, like I'd have a bad 50 shots and be like, those don't count. That was pathetic. Yeah. Like I had a very kind of like perfectionistic view.
Were your parents like that?
No, not at all. They were like, come inside for dinner.
Like my parents were pretty hard on us. Like my dad sometimes, but like in a good way, not in a negative. He always loved us.
They would try to talk me out of it. They'd be like, Ericka, it's cold out. You don't need to go shoot 100 hoops today, you know? And
you're like, no, I need to.
Something. Like, your shot looks great. You know, I'd be like, my shot's off. I got to figure it out. You know, it's like ridiculously intense.
It was just like inside of you, like something about it just needed to like.
Yeah. And I started compulsively exercising in high school. Mm-hmm. And that, to be honest, was probably my first addiction. And part of what fueled even my addiction, the prescription medication, was compulsive exercise and eating. I think I would kind of get hyped up, go run all day, be a spin instructor. Like I would exercise excessively and then binge at night because I was like starving
because you're starving and you're a growing girl. Right.
And even I drove by the Princeton Club this week, and it made me sad looking at the Princeton Club, because I used to be on an elliptical in the Princeton Club through a stress fracture injury for hours. And like, you have to be really desperate to want to elliptical for hours. And it wasn't for sports. It was a compulsive, I think it was like a body dysmorphic compulsive, like it was tied to exercise and diet
Yeah.
that kind of ruled my life for a long time.
Do you think that that was rooted in the strive for perfection as far as like how you looked?
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be naive to say that it wasn't about wanting to be thinner or change my body in some way.
We were just talking about
which
this.
is so sad because I had a really healthy, strong body and
gorgeous.
It didn't need to be abused in that way through hours and hours on an elliptical machine.
I keep talking to other people, and I feel like so many women go through that, especially in high school. I don't know what it's like as much anymore. I guess I'll know more when my niece gets older.
Yeah.
But back when we were, not back when we were, but like, I think, and maybe it's the exact same now, but I feel like that was, it was more normal to have some sort of issue with food or issue with exercise or issue with your disorder than not.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so normal.
I remember getting so lean. I'll call it lean. I was skinny as fuck. Like I couldn't, my uncle came up from Florida because he always came up, remember, during the summers to play tennis, coach me in tennis.
Yeah.
He came up between my junior and senior year, and I was getting ready. We knew that I was going to get my offer. Well, I had 2 offers, and then I was going to get one more from Montana State where I ended up going.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can't go unless you like get stronger and gain weight. Like I didn't get my period for like a year.
Yes.
Which is so dangerous at that age.
Yeah. For our bone
Did you have that? Did you ever have that?
I had issues with my menstruation.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's like, you're just.
And mine even, I think there's also a misconception, and people don't talk about this enough, I think. A lot of times people with disordered eating or disordered exercise, it doesn't show up on their bodies.
Oh, I was just going to say
that
too.
So for me, like a lot of times when I was actually at my most unhealthy, I was heavier than I am now. But I was actually exercising a lot, like all the time,
just
to exhaustion.
Your poor
and then
body.
I got stress fractures.
Yes.
I mean, all my injuries were from overuse. I didn't have like a basketball ACL injury. I had injuries from like running during the summer and not. No,
it's crazy when you think about that, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and I remember when I went to the doctor and I was the like the skinniest or leanest, lightest I ever had been. And I remember looking at the scale thinking like, okay, I'm almost there. Like we're finally getting there. And my uncle was like, this is disgusting. And I was still in a normal, because I have a lot of muscle. So like I was still a very normal BMI.
Yes.
So the doctor really didn't say anything.
Right. Yeah.
But my uncle was like, dude, you think you're going to play Division I tennis?
Yeah.
You can't. No, and he would take me to Culver's.
The BMI is so problematic for many reasons.
But
yes. Yeah.
But like he would take me to Culver's after we'd play, or I'm sorry, before we would practice. We practice for usually we do like conditioning for, doesn't matter. But he would take, because he found one thing that I loved, and I still love to this day, is peanut butter. Like I love peanut butter.
Yeah.
And like I have whatever. I'm like a connoisseur of all these different brands and all this different stuff.
Yeah.
And like he would take me to Culver's and get me a peanut butter malt, because that had the most amount of calories and the most amount. It still had tons of protein because it's ice cream, but it had a lot of fat in it. And it gave me so much energy. So he would take me there and get me like a small peanut butter malt before we'd go hit.
Yeah.
On a hot summer day. That sounds so gross now.
Yeah.
But my body needed it. And then it's crazy because my best friend Allison, who you know, she says to this day, and I might get all like emotional. She says to this day, so then my senior year, I just like grasped onto the fact that I was strong and not necessarily skinny. And like, again, I was pretty skinny. Like it wasn't like,
there's so many like ways to be healthy in a body.
Exactly. Yeah. And I put Ashley Keel and I put 155 Club on the back of our t-shirts because we both weighed 155 pounds and we were proud of that.
Yeah.
And Allison to this day still tells me, she's like, you have no idea what that did for me in my life.
Aww.
And I'm like, you know what I mean?
Why I love these women like Alona.
Yes.
Like I'm like, this, we need to see representation of all different sizes of women's bodies and health.
And strength.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it's not about trying to be a skinny and on the elliptical for 2 fucking hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like what was that about, Ericka Engen?
But like all of us, I'd get up and run 5 miles. And
me too.
And to be a thrower in track, I
found like with addictions and compulsions, you usually know if it's a problem if you're hiding it at all. And I remember kind of sneaking in workouts.
I would do sit-ups in my bedroom.
Yeah, and I remember like truly like going on a run and hiding it and making sure like my family didn't know how long I'd run or how long I was gone, or kind of minimizing, oh, I walked.
And I would
You know?
I would pretend like I had dinner at somebody else's house, because family dinner was a big thing in my family, and be like, no, I already ate it, whatever. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But like, thank goodness we got out of it. So do you think that the therapy and like learning about, because it sounds like your addiction was kind of fueled by the body,
I
some of the
think
relationship
so.
with
And
food,
it took me a
as
while
well
to admit
as
that, but like now I can see, oh yeah, I was like using probably pills to have more energy and get more done and eat less.
Eat less, yeah.
Which by the way never worked. That never worked. Like, how was that working for me? It didn't. But from the outside
it
looking
like
in,
works until it doesn't, right?
Yeah,
That's what Dr. Phil always says, is like,
yeah,
how'd that work for you? And it's like,
right.
it worked for a minute
Yeah.
until it didn't anymore. And when it doesn't, then that's when things get really messed up. In
Yeah.
I think, in like, how do you feel like your relationship with food is now?
Oh, so I truly have like some food neutrality and peace around food. Like I'm not obsessed about it. I don't like obsessively think about what I'm eating or what I'm going to be eating or what I had eaten that day. That is just totally gone.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
That's so
I never
beautiful.
really thought that would be possible for me. Like, I thought, oh, I'm just always going to have this. Like, I think I had never really seen someone recovered. Like, a lot of the people that I knew that struggled in this way, it was just a lifelong thing. So I'm like, oh, this is just going to be my thing. But I truly do have peace.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't that the goal?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care if I ever have like a high of like, I'm in a great place ever again, but if I can be at peace for the remainder of the second half of my life or whatever, it's like all day long.
Yes.
Isn't it crazy though? Like, I don't know. I listen to Kristen Cavallari's podcast all the time, and she talks about in high school, she's like, well, I didn't have an eating disorder. And then she comes back to it and she's like, oh, it was a full-blown disordered eating, where like she wouldn't eat anything during the week. Same thing, like going to the gym like hours at a time, and then binging on the weekends. Because like she would drink, and the second she would have a drink, it would allow her to like feel comfortable and like hammer a bunch of food. It's just,
it was late at night and I was eating bread. Like, I had like a loaf of bread and butter out. It must have been like 1 a.m. and I was in high school.
Okay.
And I had been doing this regularly, like waking up, starving, going downstairs to eat by myself in the dark. And I would eat like a waffle that was still frozen. It was like I had like no standards for food at that point, right? And I would throw things away and then eat it back out of the trash, because I'd be like, I want to get rid of this.
I don't want this. Yes.
And then an hour later, I'm like, is that cupcake still in the trash? What, did it touch anything bad? Oh no, it's fine. So it was like,
what am I doing?
Behavior, right? I'm eating out of the trash. Have no standards for food. I'm not making myself like a beautiful, nourishing plate. I'm like, and my dad had kind of caught me with this loaf of bread downstairs at night, and this was going on, and I like was really struggling mentally with this, and nobody knew. Like, if you were my friend at the time, you would have no idea. Of course,
of course.
And my dad was like kind of at his breaking point with me and this disordered eating and exercise, and he was like, we're taking you to Milwaukee tomorrow. You don't have a choice. And I was like, no, I'm fine. Like, I'll stop tomorrow. Like, I was just hungry, and I kind of went to Milwaukee kicking and screaming to this professional that specialized in disordered eating, had some sessions with her. And I just wasn't willing to admit it at the time. Like, I was just like, this is ridiculous. I could stop if I wanted to. I was not willing to call it a problem for a long time.
Of course.
A long time.
Because that's admitting that something's wrong.
That's what's so hard about addiction or any kind of compulsion, is that you're kind of powerless over other people until they're willing to admit it's a problem.
Right.
Like, my parents couldn't do that for me.
Right.
Like, I think it was really helpful, and they absolutely did the right thing. The worst thing they could have done has been like, okay, we won't go,
Yeah.
So there had been like many like kind of interventions, but just from the people who got a behind the scene curtain. Also, my roommates in college. There was one night I had like eaten a lot of my roommate's food,
Right.
And
When you
then
have like your
I
own
was
food and
so
yeah.
embarrassed, like, because I also loved them, and that's embarrassing. I value their money and
Right.
energy. So
Of
I
course.
woke up early, would go to the grocery store, buy what I ate, replace it, try to make it look like I hadn't eaten it.
Of
So like,
course.
this is how you know if something's a problem. Like if you start kind of doing secret, bizarre things and then covering it up, like I at some point just had to admit, oh, this is bananas. What I'm
Yes.
doing is
Yes.
not okay.
I wonder though, I'm curious, like what would you say to your younger self? Like what would you like, because it
Yeah.
sounds like I feel like there's a couple different types of people, and I don't know, you would know more
Yeah.
about this because you're
Yeah.
way, more, but like I feel like some people like need someone else to tell them like you need to go to this clinic.
Yeah.
You're not doing the right thing, but like that didn't totally work for you.
Yeah.
But you needed to come to that realization with the bee pollinating the flowers in
Yeah.
order to like come to clarity. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think there's anything that could have gotten you out of it while you were thick into it? Or do you
I
think?
think because I was like healthy passing and my body was not big or small,
Yeah.
like it wasn't like a scenario where like an inpatient clinic would have like no one would have thought that is necessary.
Yeah.
Would that have like treated it and would have allowed me to come? Like, I don't know. I think it's such an art to discerning how to care for an addict or someone who has a disordered eating or eating disorder. Like when you're a parent and a child, I do think like a treatment program is a non-negotiable
Right.
because it's a lot of women die from anorexia.
Exactly.
You know?
And they don't even no one talks about it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And it's like people like and like these things can really, really mess up your body for the long term.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I think there's no like prescription on what to do for who. It's so situational.
And everyone's so different that it's like for you, no matter how much someone would have told you, hey, you need to get this thing under control.
They'd say, I think you've like worked out enough today, or you really need to go on another
like
run,
nothing matters.
You know, and it was like, you're a teenager.
Did Garrett ever know? You think? Or did he ever have concerns?
Yeah, even when we were living in Denver, I would do like 2 Orange Theory classes, you know? And again, I'm like, I would justify it. I would justify it like, well, women run marathons and like, but like I wasn't a marathoner. Yeah. So I'd always identify with like, these extreme athletes. Like, well, people do Ironman. Right. And like, well, I'm not an Ironman. Right. I'm not an Iron Woman. I'm not training for an Ironman, but I'm acting like I am.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think like so many things in life, like alcohol, like sex, like a lot of things that are good, social media can also be bad.
That's so true.
You know, and it's like exercise is the same for me. It's like, why am I going to it? Am I going to it to become an Olympic champion? And if so, like maybe this amount is appropriate with the guidance of a trainer, but like I was not an Olympian.
Right.
You know,
like you just want like a cheeseburger tonight and you don't want to feel terrible about yourself.
It's like, yeah, exactly.
What's your workout regimen like now? I mean, you look fabulous. You're just
Thank you.
She's getting out of the car today, you guys, and I'm just like, here, she's just absolutely beautiful. And I couldn't be more proud to like even be your friend, like be at the same table as you.
Oh, stop. Cheers.
Cheers,
Anna. I just walk now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually think for my age, since I'm, nearing 40, I would like to ideally lift weights again. I did after
I was going to say you
started to so strong.
Okay.
And then it completely stopped. So I just walked.
Do you do the weighted vest?
I don't.
No, that's not your deal. Walk. Well, down in Houston, that's probably pretty hot.
And Sonny, my 2-year-old, is a big guy and he loves to be carried. So I do a weighted. Toddler.
I was just going to say you got a weighted toddler.
Yeah.
So you have a 2-year-old and
a 5-year-old.
Five.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Both are massive. So,
but you were able to carry healthy pregnancies.
Yes.
With everything. And like, that's where your body, like, aren't you so proud of what this amazing body of yours can do?
Yeah. I also had in my head, Anna, I wonder if you've had this. I had in my head that because of how I exercised and treated my body, that pregnancy would always be hard for me.
Yeah.
Or even that like my changing body, putting on weight, that would be hard. It was not.
Yeah.
It's like the thing that I feared, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get pregnant. And that's like my body. I like thought my body, I didn't trust my body.
Okay. But I bet that
Pregnancy helped me do it, helped
Yeah.
me build trust. I'm like, oh yeah, my body does know how to do this.
that's so
And I'm a weirdo. This is not a shared experience. It's okay if you hate me for this, but I love being pregnant.
I have two people, so I'm going to tell you a quick story and they're going to be guests soon on the podcast. So I have totally different experiences from two of my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
One hated being pregnant. Every single thing about it she hated, and she had to put on a ton of extra weight because she's very, very lean to begin with and works out a lot and all. Okay, so her body hated being, well, she thought her body hated being pregnant, but she just had to gain a lot of weight in to be pregnant because her body needed it to fuel what was happening inside. The other one put on 18 pounds. You wouldn't have known she was pregnant from the behind. She was like ready to not be pregnant anymore just because, you know, it just gets uncomfortable, especially in the Midwest in the summertime. But like she put on 18 pounds, lost it right away. And like it was almost like she was meant to have, but then her delivery was extremely hard, where the other one, her delivery was really not easy by any stretch. But she, all good. So for me, it's so interesting because I've never wanted kids. You've known that about me my whole life. Never wanted kids. The pregnancy.
You're an awesome auntie.
Oh, well, I think I'm
checking this chair to see if there's self tanner. It looks like a little bit orange.
We're good. We are good. This is adding character to the new podcast furniture. No, but okay. So the crazy part about me is, even though I'm, you know, into being fit and wanting to be like, look my best,
make sure here. Keep talking.
The thought of being pregnant I think that's one of the coolest things that women can do. And I think that since women can do it and men can't, like, to me, that would trump anything that was happening to my body. So, and my mom, because my mom's probably like the GOAT of all time, right? Like, you know, my mom. And she still
iconic gym teacher.
Iconic. And iconic
everything.
mother. Like, iconic everything. I think because she's always been so strong and so like her and my tennis coach, thank God, were always just like, hey, if people don't like you, they're jealous of you, and you need to get like, just like authentic, the most authentic, you know, human beings on the planet. And I think she just always kind of instilled in me, like, yeah, you have to gain weight when you have babies, but like, don't gain too much that like it's not a free pass to just treat your body like shit, because you want to still fuel it with like the good things and the right things. But that had nothing to do with me not wanting to be a mom. It was, I just didn't have it in me. I didn't want to be a mother, but I think like the fact that women can have babies and men can't is like the coolest thing ever. So that always kind of like, I think that's so cool. And like, thank goodness, like both you have these two beautiful, healthy babies, and like, they're like a little bit maniacs, right? That's not probably the right word to say.
They're
toddler. They're boys. They're boys that are 5 years old and under. Like, they're nuts. But they look like so cool, and they look like you so much that it just like warms my heart whenever I see any pictures on Instagram.
I love it.
So like, what has motherhood done for you?
I think,
because you guys were married for a bit, obviously,
a long
you got
time.
when you were
a
22.
long time. I think like 9 years before we had kids, almost. No, not 9, but 8. Yeah, almost a decade.
When we went for a walk one time in Denver, different time than when you came to my house, you were like, yeah, I think we'll have kids. You were just like, I got to see if I can do this though. Like, this is a lot.
I
hope that's okay to share.
I mean, I think in Denver, I was a student. I was running a nonprofit. I think I had filled up my life in all these other ways, and my life needed space for kids. And really, I had to hand something off or kind of negotiate some of what I had to create space. So, I think for me, motherhood has been such a gift. And I've said this in another podcast. I think when you become a mom, you renegotiate your past life with your future one.
Okay.
And it's like you decide what can still fit and what has to let go.
Okay.
You know, and that was not an easy process for me.
How could it be for anybody?
What can I still do? The answer was no, I can't still do this all.
Right.
You know?
And you're a girlfriend girl. Like, it seems like you have a lot of great friends that are with, like,
I do have great friends.
Right. And like, you move somewhere not knowing anybody, and you've built a world for yourself. Do you mean like, so you've had to give up some of those things? Like, the things are.
Yeah, I think like I am kind of like, I'm a little bit of a hippie parent. I like do extended breastfeeding, be like co-sleep. Like, I've only been away from my kids like one night.
Okay.
Like, well,
they're still pretty young.
what like
You had a date night last night?
yes.
Can't wait to hear.
So that doesn't count. I mean, like,
Oh, like
overnight.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, I think like even when I preached in New York when New York was opening after the pandemic, and I like brought our baby, and like my mom came to help with the baby, and so I like have found ways to like
Yes.
my husband and kids dropped me off for this podcast.
Well, I was gonna say, should they have come up? Now I feel like a bad, like they could have come up. I don't know how
No.
distracting it would have been.
No.
Probably,
I'm
and I
sorry.
could have definitely. I can always tone down my language. Don't worry.
No, but so yeah,
You're with them all the time.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself going on like a trip with Garrett, maybe or
I think so.
girlfriend or
Yes.
something for like a 3-night, maybe just to see how it goes?
Actually, the Wisconsin team is planning a reunion, my freshman recruiting class.
Okay.
For next summer. So for sure then.
Okay.
I think something's gonna happen then. But
so you'll be back in Madison, or do you?
Yes, I think so. Next summer.
Well, we'll have to do a little redo.
2006 incoming freshman reunion.
That is so funny. We're gonna do
or 2007. I don't know.
Was it 2007?
I graduated in 2006.
So then it would have been the fall of
Okay.
Yeah, I think, right?
I don't know how time works.
I don't know how math works. So here we are. But no, we're gonna do I literally just texted. I'm on this group text with my tennis girls, like the freshman class of Montana State women's tennis. We're still best friends.
Yeah.
Like we try to do one get together every year,
Mm.
if not every 2 years. But I want to do this the Netflix documentary like thing that's going off on Instagram right now. Have you watched these? I gotta show you these.
What is it?
It's like, do you watch any Netflix? You're probably too busy. Okay.
Netflix
So there's like a background song on all these Netflix documentaries that's kind of like intense.
Okay.
And like everybody's doing spin-offs of like Point of View. Netflix is doing a documentary on XYZ.
Okay.
But it's like something that like, because I want to do it with the magazine. They're like, there's nothing bad that goes on here that we can like spill the tea about.
Yeah.
And I'm like on my group chat last night, and we're all talking about Wimbledon, the big tournament that's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if everybody can send me a 10-second clip of them just sitting down in a chair and being like, hey, which camera should I look at? I'm going to mesh them all together and be like, Point of View, you're a 2003 Bobcat tennis freshman. We'll probably be the only ones that think it's funny.
Yes.
But like all of us know the shit that went down when we were freshmen, sophomores, and June. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, because we were like dumb idiots, and everybody's from other countries.
Yeah.
Other countries or other places in this country. Like,
okay. Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I want to see that.
But that's going to be hilarious when you do like the reunion. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you stay in touch with quite a few of them?
Yeah, we were just in a group text this past week planning it. So one of my former teammates, Mariah Dunham, is getting inducted into the Wisconsin Hall of Fame.
Amazing.
So some players are coming back for that on September 28th. And
are you coming back for that?
I don't know. I don't think I can, but maybe.
Depends on if the baby's coming.
But it's actually in the Dells, the
really?
Hall of Fame. Yeah. So
well, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, oh my God, I actually knew that it was in the Dells. Someone recently.
You're probably in it.
I'm not in it. I'm not in it.
Not yet.
No.
Not in it yet.
No. But that's too funny. Okay, so we have to wrap up soon, which sucks because like all I want to do is keep talking to you.
Fun.
What do you have anything now that we've chatted a little bit more? Is there anything you would like to toast to other than friendship? Because friendship is like, I feel like that's a good baseline.
It is a good
baseline. And we can continue that train of thought also.
Let's toast to continuing to evolve. I hope that like in 10 years, where our podcasts are still a thing, we're back here being like, oh my gosh, 10 years ago.
AI can't do this. AI can't sit down here and drink a Sprecher sugar-free cream soda with me.
Amazing. So toast to evolving.
Cheers. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, Anna. This is awesome. Yay.
Cheers, you guys. We'll put some links in the chat. Keep joining us for the Anna Engel podcast. We love having you here. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And thank you so much again to Ericka for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Spartan Award.
I don't know why I wore this. This whole outfit is ridiculous.